Now, to all of you who's joined us at this virtual press conference to announce the winners of the Asia Corporate Excellence and Sustainability Awards, ACES 2020, members of the media, our panel of jury, and esteemed winners, a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Ann Edwards, your MC for today. Now, since its inauguration in 2014, the ACES Awards has grown to become one of the most sought-after accolades in Asia, substantiated by its exclusive list of winners, which includes some of Asia's most renowned business leaders, corporations, and also brands. Now, this year also sees the largest number of nominees, 420 to be exact, from across Asia, and out of this number, only 1/3 made it to the finals. Nevertheless, it has brought together some of the most compelling success stories in Asia, ranging from rags to riches, from leaders to fighters. Now, fighting to keep the business alive and kicking, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, things will never be the same again. A crisis clarifies the changes we need to make in leadership philosophy and also application. It is this fleet of leaders from whom ACES has proclaimed to the world stage through knowledge sharing and also recognition. It's also not all business, as the awards is a journey of responsible corporate citizenship that aims to build a resilient and also yet sustainable Asia. Now, without further ado, let's take a look and a peek at what makes the ACES Awards extra special and worth fighting for. And ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, I have the honor of unveiling this masterpiece, which is in the house today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us the trophy that will be sent out to all winners, weighing 2.6 kgs. It is all pewter, exclusively handcrafted by the skilled craftsmen of Royal Selangor. The trophy is inspired by Chiron the centaur, the wisest and most just of all centaurs in Greek mythology. It is as solid as an exemplary leader's conviction, as fluid as their strategies in challenging situation, and as steady as the will of a true game changer. Mounted on a solid wood base, as you can see, the trophy is truly a unique masterpiece and a perfect testament to all of your successes. Besides this beautiful pewter trophy, winners of the ACES Awards will also receive certificates, yes, which is in my hand right here. The certificate which are designed to mark a victory and also to serve as a reminder of the standards of excellence which winners and winning corporations are now held up to. Now, these tangible reminders of what it takes to be the best also serve as positive reinforcement for staff and associates, providing a baseline for continued good business practice. And last but not least, winners will also receive the exclusive Beacons. As you can see, Beacons, it's the 7th edition, a book capturing the stories and biographies of business leaders and sustainability advocates across the Asia region. The publication also pays tribute to significant leaders and also a lot of stories that are told here. the select few who have carried out significant CSR campaigns, implemented policies, and operational structures that generate returns beyond all financial gains. They protect the environment, they demonstrate compassion for the community, they recognize human resources as assets, and they propel Asia's resilient economic growth. They shall continue to be the beacon of leadership excellence and serve to encourage fellow industry peers to follow suit. Now with that, and to tell you more about the ACES Awards and its selection process, I have the pleasure of inviting Moore's Group CEO, Ms. Shangari B, to say a few words. Now over to you, Shan.
Well, thank you, and hello everyone, members of the media, esteemed winners of the ACES Awards. Thank you for joining us here virtually today. Generally at this time, it would be cocktail hour, but that, like everything in the world, times has changed. As you know, the ACES Awards this year cannot be held. It's been a challenging year for us all, but we have persevered and continued to deliver a stellar crop of winners for the ACES. Now, usually at this time, my team would have racked up enough frequent flyer miles to have taken all of you for a vacation as we work to handpick the best leaders of the pack. This year, we converted the air miles to Zoom hours and interviewed hundreds of inspiring corporate leaders in order to handpick the selected 72 that topped the category list. But despite the topsy-turvy year we have all had, the ACES 2020 showed remarkable growth. There were over 150 finalists coming from the 420 nominees representing Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Taiwan, Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. And it is my pleasure to share with you, with 21 winners in total, Philippines tops the list with the highest number of winners for the third consecutive time. Well done. This year also saw winners from 4 new countries, namely the Maldives, Saudi Arabia, Germany, and the United States of America. Now, the addition of an American corporation into an award that is built as an Asian-centric endeavor, it is definitely a testimony of how the credibility of ACES is important for Western companies seeking to make inroads into the Asia-Pacific region. More and more, we are seeing marked inspirational move by top executives and corporations to make a difference from where they are. One of my favorite stories is that of Movilex, the Indonesian paint-making industry leader who has vowed to refuse plastic packaging for its products until 2018. And now it's already making plans to reduce its plastic use by 80% in 8 years. Our industry champion, the CPC Corporations, a Taiwanese oil and gas giant, strives to find an equilibrium between being profitable corporation and prioritizing environmental protection and social care. So many of our winners and nominees are doing incredibly inspiring things, which makes it a little frustrating not to be host our networking party for now, but regardless, their success story is material for inspiration. By sharing the stories of courage under pressure and agile handling of the challenges of the new normal, well, I believe the nominees will be distance mentoring a whole generation of more versatile, quick-thinking young entrepreneurs and business owners. And in a time where profit needs to be measured with another scale, I believe the shared testimony from leaders, the business leaders fighting the economic coronavirus battle is as invaluable as the service of our medical frontliners now. Therefore, with that, to all leaders who not just survived, but led from the front, I offer you my heartiest congratulations, and I hope you continue to strive further. And to our corporate champions, my biggest congratulations on your wins, and I hope you're not just on your sustainability pole, will drive you to achieve greater things as sustainability champions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shan. And that was Shan, the CEO of Morse Group. Of course, we welcome and also congratulate all of our winners who have been very quick thinking and also qualified in their own criteria, which will be re-announcing very shortly in a while. Now I have great pleasure to welcome Mr. Hemant K. Batra, who is Honorary Chairman at ACES Awards, to give his opening remarks. Please welcome him.
To start? Okay. Thank you, Anne. Very warm welcome to all the participants, winners, and our friends from the media. As you all know, this is the 7th edition of the Asia Corporate Excellence and Sustainability Awards, or in short, ACES Awards. And I must say, this year has been the most demanding, challenging, turbulent, trying for not only businesses, across the board, but for us as well, we, the jury panel. We had to take into account the effects of the crisis on businesses and how they coped up with the pandemic in order to actually survive. COVID-19, we all know, started as a health crisis and quickly evolved into a global economic crisis at a speed, size, magnitude, and extent we have not seen in our lifetime. It's a matter of fact. The ripple effects are still unfolding on a global scale, and it is unlikely that the true impact of this pandemic can be measured until the situation actually stabilizes. But once we come out of this challenging and uncertain time, which we will, how will we recover? That's my first question. Second, will we go back to business as usual, or will we see enduring changes at the individual, organizational, and government levels? This is what the ACES weighed on the ability of businesses and its leadership to change and implement bold strategies involving off-site working, flexi working, embracing new technology and product resilience, which is relevant in all seasons, I would say. Now, given the pandemic, we have given more weightage. ACES, I would say, has given more weightage to qualitative, means more time to assessment, analysis. It is here that the stories of agile leaderships mattered more than ever. Yes, more than ever. Unlike usual times, we cannot look at financial strength alone now. We cannot, different indicators will gain more attention, such as organizational strength, innovation, and leadership capabilities. What is most impressive is seeing leaders who understand and accept the fact that, the fact of new ways of doing businesses, and the fact is that the new ways of doing businesses are going to stay for long as the pandemic passes. Organizations that fail to ride on the new forces will be left behind. Yes. So finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the winners of the ACES 2020, all nominees and finalists, yes, along with my jury panel colleagues, and everyone involved in making this year's awards a reality and a grand success, despite all these challenges. We look forward to bigger and the more joyous celebrations as soon as the pandemic passes, which it will. I'm highly optimistic. Thank you all. God bless all.
Thank you so much, Hemant, for sharing. And of course, ACES has brought about a lot of agile leadership among winners. Now, next we have Dr. Jayanti Desan, jury of ACES Awards and Managing Director of Synergic Global, Srivan Berhad, to share her insight on leadership and sustainability. Go ahead, Dr. Jaya.
I've just unmuted myself. It's a real pleasure and a real honor to be here today at the ACES Awards. And it's been, oh, what a journey has it been till today. There's been lots of rounds of internal deliberation, assessments. I think the processes will be run through later, but business as usual is no longer business as usual this year. So in a year that we are rethinking what's business as usual, what sustainability as usual comes to the fore. A lot of reframing and rethinking and understanding around that. But what the winners are really showing us today is that the fundamentals of sustainability or good business practices are not something you can wake up and slap on overnight. It's something that's built over many years that requires focus, integrity, and actionable projects, actionable items, and real agenda. And in terms of fundamentals, the winners have shown data integrity, they have shown integration, they've shown strategy across value chains. So we are truly, truly excited with the winners, and it's showing us hope that sustainability is not just increasingly seen as an opportunity, but also seen as drivers of growth, productivity, and risk. Moving forward, we will be seeing more focus on inclusive capitalism, focus on conscious capitalism, innovation and collaboration. More collaboration would be something that we will be seeing during the pandemic and post-pandemic. That's my key message today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Jaya. Thanks for sharing on the importance of sustainability, which is actually seen as drivers of growth, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. Let us now hear it from Luis Bueno Nieto, jury of ACES Awards and Business Strategic Leader, Group ADO. Go ahead, Luis.
Bonjour, Madame et Messieurs. Good morning from everyone from France. It's very early here. Well, thank you, all of you, media, winners, friends, and was very excited to be here again. As my colleagues say, it was an amazing year. It was a very, I will say it was a very rich year full of new experience. And today what I want to do is to share a thought with you. I went this morning to run. I was preparing my speech, and I thought, I'm going to have a run because I really want to speak from my heart. What exactly, for me, is a leadership. Today, we live in an exceptional tragedy. It's human. We lost more than 1.5 million lives already with the virus, and millions of employees. People lost their employment. They lost their jobs. So when I look at for the leaders of the future, I look at the leaders, they really think about the impact of the human disaster is around us. For me, a leader today, of course, they need to look into their economical statement. Money is important to make the company run, but it's the teams what they make the companies move forward. For me, a new leader or the real leader of a company, or what I look at in my companies or in my teams, is like a captain of a fishing boat. So the captain of a fishing boat, they have two different roles. The first one, they need to fish. They need to ensure there is fish in the nets to be able to run their business. But what is more important than all is to make sure their crew come back to port safe. Today, they have a big waves ahead. The situation, economical and and economical and human environment is complex. Today, the leaders, they have to face this new environment, these big waves ahead. So for me, today is the time where the captains, the new leaders, they take their crews safe back to port. There will be, as Heman said, there will be other times. Things will, the crisis will, they will pass. Here in Europe, the crisis is hitting very hard. It's very difficult for a business to move ahead. And the easy part for the leader is to fire people. And this is what we're living today here in the north of Europe. But what I'm expecting from a leader, from a real leader, is to maintain the crew, is to understand that it will have, it will pass. It will be the middle and the long-term visibility. Because when that will be over, and it will very soon, we need to ensure we have the best crews, the best teams to relaunch our business, to come back to business as soon as possible. Because to recover your business is not about how much you maintain your business today only. It's how quick you will be able to back on track when the crisis will be over. So for me, when I'm looking into a leadership, of course, is to maintain the economical statement, to be social responsible, but what more important, the humans, to maintain their teams, to be able to move forward in the next step. They are, I hope, soon to come. Thank you all, and we see you now.
Thank you so much, Luis. And now the moment we have been waiting for, the unveiling of the ACES Awards 2020 winners. There are 3 categories, namely leadership for individual categories, leadership for enterprise categories, and sustainability categories. So let's begin with the Masterclass Entrepreneurs in Asia. Entrepreneur of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, the members of the media, is from Malaysia. Tan Sri Datuk G. Gyanalingam, Executive Chairman of Westports Malaysia, Srian Berhad. Woman Entrepreneur of the Year is also from Malaysia, Nando's Chickenland, Malaysia and Singapore, Ms. Mac Chun Lin, who is Group Chief Executive Officer. Winning the Young Entrepreneur of the Year from Thailand, Sirasom Borisutsuwan, founder of You Drink, I Drive. And winning the Eminent Leaders in Asia Award is from the Philippines, Manolito Titayag, Country Managing Director of Essentia Incorporated. We now move on to Outstanding Leaders in Asia. And our fleet of winners, we have with us Shamsuddin bin Muhammad Yusuf, Chief Executive Officer from Composite Technology Research Malaysia, from Malaysia as well, Mr. Khalid Alwi, Chief Executive Officer, Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei, Etika Sundrian Berhad. From Singapore, Sudhir Agarwal, who is Chief Executive Officer of Everise. And from the Philippines, we have Mr. Jamie T. Azurin, President of Global Business Power Corporation. Also winning the Outstanding Leaders in Asia, we have Ms. Alina Palacios, President and CEO of Lesmark Research and Development Corporation from the Philippines. From Indonesia, Mr. Alan Yong, Senior VP and Managing Director, Southeast Asia of PT Ecolab International. From the Philippines, Mr. Elmer Francisco U. Sarmiento, President and CEO of Royal Cargo Incorporated. From Singapore, Mohammad Aziz Khan, Chairman of Summit Power International Limited. Also winning the Outstanding Leaders in Asia, from Myanmar, Christopher Low, MD and CEO of UAB Bank. And from the Philippines, Ms. Aurora Claudia Gatson, Regional Vice President for USANA Philippines, Indonesia and Thailand, UHS Essential Health Philippines Incorporated. Now next we have Asia's most inspiring executives. All right, we have Mr. Pang Yi Beng, Managing Director from Malaysia, Managing Director of Dell Global Business Centers, Nguyen Berhad. From Singapore, Sirintip Chotitamaporn, Group Managing Director of Direct Asia Management Services. From Singapore, Katrina Orberg, Regional Vice President of Monlika Healthcare Asia Pacific Private Limited. Also winning the Asia's Most Inspiring Executives, Mr. Najib Khan, Managing Director and CEO of Ooredoo Maldives PLC. And from Singapore, Thea Michelle Lemons, who is Business Sustainability Head APAC of Tata Consultancy Services Asia Pacific Private Limited. Young leaders in Asia. Okay, we have announcing the winners, Mr. John Kum, who is Chief Executive Officer from D Jungle Peoples, Nguyen Berhad, Malaysia. Asia's Most Inspiring Leaders. And Asia's Most Admirable Young Leaders, Mr. Clement Tan. Who is Chairman and Group CEO of Bremzel Group. Next, we have Asia's Most Admirable, Industry Champions of the Year. Asia's Most Admirable Young Leaders. Chandavong Sautitham, Founder and Managing Director of Unitech Company Limited from Laos. And also Ms. Kristen Leonor Montero, co-founder of Blue Social, and she is leading technopreneurs in Asia. Next, we have Industry Champions of the Year. Industry Champions of the Year is under Enterprise categories, Kobe, Malaysia, CPC Corporation Taiwan, Harriers Materials Singapore Private Limited, and Kenanga Investment Bank Berhad, Malaysia. Next, Lufthansa Technic Philippines Incorporated, Muang Thai Life Assurance Public Company Limited, and PT Nusantara Sejahtera Raya, Cinema 21, Indonesia. Asia's Most Influential Companies. PT AXL Axiata, Transcom Worldwide Philippines Incorporated, and Viettel Group. Asia's Best Performing Companies. The award goes to Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated from the Philippines, and from Indonesia, PT Mobilex Indonesia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break and we'll watch the highlights of ACES Awards 2019. Let's take a look.
We want to grow the business, and we want to live up to our responsibility as good corporate citizens. And of course, we want to win one of the other awards as well, like Best Workplace or Greenest Initiative.
We are humbled and we are honored, and we hope that we also win next year and the year after.
Thank you all. Thank you, Morris. Thank you, ACES. Thank you. Feel honored and yeah, of course, we're so happy.
Thank you for all my DMI members or DMI families, which we have almost about 800 people with us, for the dedication and hard work given by them to where we are today.
Let me say thank you to the Morse Group for this recognition. It's indeed a humbling experience to be recognized with this ACES award. No? It's a validation of what we have been doing for the past 5 years, that we're doing the right things as an organization, and that we are accomplishing our mission of really touching the lives of every Filipino by providing them with world-class quality products at the most affordable price.
Definitely improve our branding in a lot of sense. So yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Congratulations to all our winners. And now we continue with the announcement of ACES 2020 winners. Next, we have Asia's leading SMEs. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, Berjaya Pax Berhad from Malaysia wins the Asia's leading SMEs. Flat World Solutions Philippines Incorporated from the Philippines. Also, Asia's leading SMEs, and winning the award of Asia's leading SMEs is Multisys Technologies Corporation, also from the Philippines. Winning the award of Asia's leading SMEs is also One-to-One Contacts Public Company Limited from Thailand. Also from Thailand is Celicorp PCL, winning the Asia's leading SMEs. Next, we have Asia's most promising SMEs. From the Philippines, Animation Vertigo Asia Incorporated. Also from the Philippines, Go Virtual Assistance of Incorporated. From Laos, Maruhan Japan Bank Lao Company Limited and Neo Target Company Limited is from Thailand, all winning the Asia's promising SMEs. Promising startups in Asia. From Germany, Captomat GmbH wins this award, Promising Startups in Asia. Congratulations. And next we have Sustainability segment. Now winning the SME segment is Top Sustainability Advocates. We have Asia's most socially responsible company of the year. Asia's most socially responsible company of the year is ASUS Tech Computer Incorporated. Also, Accenture, which wins the Top Sustainability Advocates in Asia, Accenture Inc. And winning the Top Sustainability Advocates in Asia is Ayala Corporation. And next is Top Sustainability Advocates in Asia, which is Energy Development Corporation. Sustainability Rising Star Award goes to Pepsi Cola Products Philippines Incorporated. Sustainability Rising Star Award, Theme Resorts and Spas Private Limited, and winning the Responsible SMEs in Asia is Imperial Homes Corporation. And up next is the Green Segment Award. And the winners are Asia's Green Company of the Year, Taiwan Cement Corporation, and winning the top green company in Asia is Chipmos Technologies Incorporated. We have the next fleet of awards. Green Initiative Award goes to Composites Technology Research Malaysia's Nuan Berhad, and winning the Green Initiative Award as well is ASPAC Arca from Saudi Aramco. And from Malaysia, winning the Green Initiative Award is Suria Capital Holdings Berhad. In the community segment, our fleet of winners winning the Asia's Community Care Company of the Year is Diversi Incorporated. From Thailand, winning the top community care companies in Asia, Bangkok Life Assurance Public Company Limited. Winning the top community care companies in Asia is Indosat Ooredoo, that's from Indonesia, and top community care companies in Asia award goes to Petrowin Energy Incorporated. And next we have workplace segment. Now our fleet of companies winning this award. In the workplace segment, the award of Asia's Best Workplace of the Year goes to Tata Consultancy Services Asia Pacific Private Limited from Singapore. Next is CPC Corporation Taiwan takes home the top workplaces in Asia, and also taking back the award of top workplaces in Asia from Malaysia. Dell Technologies Malaysia. From Thailand, walking away with top workplaces in Asia is Krung Thai AXA Life Assurance Public Company Limited. And next is Lufthansa Technik Philippines, winning the award of top workplaces in Asia. Also, top workplaces in Asia award goes to Manulife Cambodia PLC. And from the Philippines, top workplaces in Asia award goes to Transcom Worldwide Philippines Incorporated. And that concludes our announcement segment. Congratulations to all our winners. Your win is even more significant and meaningful during these challenging times. Now, next, I would like to open the floor to questions and invite members of the media to post their questions to our winners and panel jury. Now, this is not the end of it, because we would like to ensure to you, the media, that you can still post questions and interview winners off screen post this press conference. Our team will facilitate you later in connecting you, the media, to our winners. So please get in touch with us to contact the winners. So for members of the media now, please ask your questions. Please introduce yourself, your name, and the media you are representing. Thank you. Can we have the first question? We've got members of the media from Asia, from the Philippines, as well as from Malaysia. We've had great support as well, but due to time constraint, we also needed to limit the number of members of the media from Malaysia who are on board with us this afternoon. All right, while waiting for some of the members of our media to ask and post their questions to the jury panel, perhaps we can start and kickstart this press conference by asking our panel jury as to what makes ACES 2020 different from past years.
This would be something exciting for Louis to take on, since we've worked a lot on what we've seen differently this year. Louis, maybe you'd want to go on that.
Of course. Well, I think this year, as we mentioned before, we are not changing our parameter, how we're going to measure our Asia Award prelimination. But what we do is we put a special attention about especially about points like, first of all, the agility of our leaders to adapt to the new situation. We put a special attention of our leaders, or the leaders will be able to have a human view of the situation, as I explained before, is how they're going to look into their organizations and just find other ways to do things and adapt it to this new environment. So what is important is what we do is we just adapting the way we put the weight, or the weight in the way we measure. So the parameters are the same. The only thing we have to put special attention is to a different parameters. So, and I say this year for us, agility, transformation, adaptation, and the human view, because as we say before, I think this is a very important point for us. Thank you.
All right, whilst we're waiting for the questions to come up, perhaps the jury of ACES, perhaps you can brief us on what are the criteria for the company to send their entries, and also who are the judges involved, and how is the judging based upon? Can you share with us some insight into this?
Sure, and I'll be happy to address that.
Yes.
I mean, you are looking at the jury panel here with us today. Experts with diverse backgrounds, from legal backgrounds, a sustainability expert, and years of leadership position and expertise. Now, the ACES Awards itself looks into both the quantitative and the qualitative parameters. The actual criteria for each category will depend, and obviously there's different benchmarking that is being used. They broadly include things like financial performance, like how my colleague Luis mentioned earlier, the impact towards the community, the aspect of leadership. Of course, that's from the technical perspective. If you asked my team, they would say it would take a real superstar to win big at the ACES. And I would agree. The criteria that our judges have set is one of the most stringent of any awards. For instance, in the individual leadership categories, the nominees are scored not just on profitability, but also the satisfaction of their employees. These variables cause for a person who excels in every quadrant of the playing field, a real all-star, and that's what we see in winners that we have recognized here today.
Great, Shan. Now we're still on the judging process. There is a question from Shirajiv Daily News, Sri Lanka. Okay, we're going a bit forward with things still so uncertain. How do you plan to run ACES 2021 and the suggested venue or country? And will judging processes change with COVID in play?
I suppose that's a fair question if people would actually come forward to enter their nominations when things are still at the state of flux. But if there's one thing that we have learned from the pandemic is that society is craving for social interaction and connection. So whatever happens in 2021, ACES 2021 will run as planned. Although we have 2 templates now coming on the heels of this year. So we are planning for 2 scenarios, the conventional black tie dinner and also the new normal event, which will be online. So just to share also, we have recently opened up the nominations, and to date we've already received 70 nominations. That's a record number in an unprecedented time. And it proves that the corporates understand the need to brand build and strengthen their positions in order to be at their best when business returns as usual.
All right, great. We have a question here from Judith of Manila Bulletin. To the jury panel, can you share with us what you have observed about the companies that have time and again made your list of Asia's best?
Well, Dr. J, maybe you could share some of our exciting list from the sustainability winners.
Yeah, so it's what we see, or the trends that we see over the years is very clear that the two parts. I always say sustainability has a science aspect and an arts aspect. So the science is the fundamentals, the data integrity, the focus on targets, focus on year projections and moving forward, and integration of sustainability throughout the organization. So those clarity around those verticals are really, really laser focused in these organizations. But the next part is the art. The art of sustainability is where sustainability is integrated as in terms of the culture of an organization, in terms of leadership, and that you can see in resilience, in the companies, in how impact is driven through sustainability, and especially in the light of a pandemic now, we can see that these companies not just show resilience, but are focused on their stakeholders and what their stakeholders really want. So we can see that they're creating even more meaningful conversations. So the short answer to your question is, it's a hybrid of many, many building blocks. It doesn't happen overnight, as I said earlier. It needs real focus, it needs planning, but the rewards are huge, because if you really want to show impact, it needs real building blocks across the sustainability verticals.
All right, Dr. Jayanti, I'd like to keep you there a while longer because we have a question from Ms. Zunaida from Dagang News, our reporter from Malaysia. The question is, in all the excellence made by companies and also corporations, sustainability is the key to survive in COVID-19. Now, what are the strategies that has been implemented during this crisis?
Okay, we are seeing very many different roadmaps across sustainability, and one thing I would say that we are seeing is pathways towards integration. So what do we mean by pathways towards integration? Previously, sustainability was always seen in silos: economic, environmental or social, and actions or activities to integrate these verticals. But what is moving now, or we're seeing a reframing around how can we see these areas as integrated capitals, and how can we harness opportunities in these areas. So deeper sense of understanding across the value chain of companies is one of the key things that we are saying, where just to make it very simple, climate change, human development and poverty are so interconnected, but we always see it as very different aspects, and companies are realizing that they can't see it as distinct issues anymore. They can't afford to.
All right, great. And these are questions I'm sure that the panel jury also will be able to furnish us with some very delightful answers. How many percentage of the nominees are women? This question is coming from Lynn Mazlina, who is the editor at Sinar Harian right here in Malaysia. And the second question is, as I understand it, a small occasion will be organized by the organizers soon for all the winners. Now, when is it?
Right, I'll take that one.
Okay.
We have never quite polarized our nominations, and gender is not even a criteria as part of the nomination or winning process. Though, of course, one will have to be female in order to win the Women Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
But the ratio of male to female nominees change each year depending on the people that is being nominated. Though this is not at all, overall the numbers would actually range somewhere around 20% female executives participation. Mm-hmm. And I would say they are not indicators of women's leadership skills or corporate competence.
Mm-hmm. Okay, also paying emphasis to some of your nominees who are SMEs, there is a question from Malaysian media, Rentak Sejuta. Now, we see a lot of participation from the established players, but the business landscape has sort of changed tremendously over the last few years. Now, what is the participation like from the rising new SMEs, digital entrepreneurs, startups, and gig economy propagators? Now, are awards like this still important or relevant to many of these overnight success stories? What do you think?
I think Mr. Hemant, you'd be in the best position as the chairman to take that.
Yeah, sure. Year on year, we have been seeing increase in the participation of SMEs. And in this, new sort of work from home culture, virtuality has become a reality. And startups and technology driven businesses have admittedly, emerged as, key drivers of economic growth and job creation and, catalyst of radical innovation. And all this is leading to a matter of fact and a matter of principle, which has been accepted from centuries, which is survival of the fittest. And ACES, I feel, has assumed massive significance and importance in the current scenario. I would say more than before, because an endorsement, a recognition, an acknowledgement, or a certification from ACES, with regard to any of these startups or technology-driven companies or new entrepreneurs would certainly give an edge, to the recipients.
Right. That addresses it. Budi.com, Mr. Budi himself has some very straightforward questions, but I think would be very important to be answered. What's the main criteria that he wants to know which determines an ACES award winner? And in terms of nomination, what is the most obvious difference this year as compared to yesteryears?
Well, I will start something on that regard, but I will pass it on to Luis in the exciting part of the question. Well, firstly, as we mentioned earlier, that this is an award that looks at an individual in totality, and ACES is not just about fiscal performance of a company. Our goal overall is to nurture the tripartite relationship between planet, profit, and social conscious in a way which build organizational excellence. And that is why leadership and social responsibility are so intricately tied to the awards. As I've mentioned earlier, technical aspects involve the qualitative and the quantitative aspects. But for us, having said that, it is most definite that the jury will be looking for more questions and nominees about how they, as leaders, made the experience for the leaders in the future to the employees, where their work experience at home is more conducive for their employees. We'll also be interested to know what kind of mental health care programs companies will be embarking on to help employees deal with the isolation and challenges of having to work in solitary from home.
Right.
Luis, perhaps if you have anything you want to add.
Yes, I would like to add, yes, we're looking for entrepreneurs, we're looking for leaderships. They're thinking with their heart and they execute with their brain. What does it mean? I think everyone knows what is right or wrong in business. The leader knows exactly what is the right thing or the wrong thing to do. Sometimes we don't think with our heart. It means we have to decide the strategy or decide whatever is good for the company, including the people is working with you, and later use your brain, your knowledge to make it happen. What does it mean? It means to change, adapt. It means to revolutionize your company. But in the end of the day, follow what your heart told you is the right thing to do. And this is, for me, is actually a big revolution that a leader can make. And this is how they will transform the companies internally to adapt it to this kind of new way of thinking or new behavior. And this is very important for us.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luis. Now we've got a very, well, it's a short question, but I think which is highly important as well to find out. When you mention smaller pocket events, enabling winners to network together, now does it mean you're doing it virtually as well, like holding forums, that kind of thing? Now this question comes from Nokomen, who is our Malaysian reporter.
as I mentioned earlier, definitely we are adapting to the situation right now. It is not practical to expect business will go back as usual. The change is here for real. Therefore, we will be looking at having both options where people can join the actual physical event, but there will also be digital platforms that allows our winners to join in virtually. Because sometimes there are times that they can't attend a particular event on a last minute notice, and they always have this option to go for. But we would also have more social networking events. There was supposed to be one that's happening end of this year, but again, with the current situation, it can't be held for now. But we're looking forward to have smaller events that is run locally, for example, in Thailand and Philippines, that can band together the local winners in each region that could give the advantage of the networking and the cross-learning sessions among our winners.
That's great, Shan. We look forward to that. All right. Now we just like to also have some input from our winners. There is a question coming in from Judith of Manila Bulletin, and this is for Mr. Lutfer of Lufthansa. Okay. So the question is, for a repeat winner, can you share with us an insight into how winning these particular awards is different from your previous one and what you have learned in the time in between?
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Judith. Let me start with thanking our hosts here, the Morse Group, Ms. Shangari, and the ACES jury for making this possible, even in these times. And also thanking all our co-winners and participants here, and for everybody who's interested in corporate excellence and sustainability. So, yeah, Ms. Judith, winning this year is so different because our industry came from record results last year, and we are fighting for survival now. And we, you heard us perhaps saying last year on stage that we want to win the Best Workplace Award, and that was true, and we even made that one of our top targets at the beginning of the year before the crisis. But the decision to throw our head in was actually taken in the middle of the pandemic, because we wanted to show to ourselves that we are not fair weather operators, but that we can actually continue what we believe in, even in these dark times where everybody is suffering. And that's why it is so important for our team. And I'm happy that the team is also proud of that, and the award goes actually to everybody in our company who manages people and represents people, and to the people themselves, because sometimes it's the colleagues which make the best workplace.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lutfer from Lufthansa. And we have actually on visual with us right now from Indonesia, our Indonesian winners. From Cinema 21, Ms. Devinta Hartagaul. There are just about 2 questions here for our winner. Now, the impacts of COVID-19 have been substantial for cinema operators globally. Now, as the largest cinema operator in Indonesia, how do you ensure business continuity? Now, some cinema operators have begun diversifying their operations to help sustain income. Is there a similar approach with Cinema 21? Can you share with us?
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the questions, and hi to everyone, and congratulations to every winners, and thank you for the judges and also the panels. So indeed it is around the globe actually, cinema business is one of the most sort of way being hit quite hard in the time of this pandemic COVID-19, and including us in Indonesia. So basically what we do is actually we kind of do, because we do not receive any incoming or any revenue. So what we can do best is we cut some sort of a fixed operational cost, for example, like rental fees and etc. And also we kindly ask our employees to work from home. I mean, they're still our employees until now. We do not have any layoffs or sort of things like that, but we are kindly asking them to work from home for their own safety and for their family safety as well. And by the decision of board management and the BOD, they do not have, they do not receive their remuneration starting from April until the cinemas resume normal operations, so to speak. So at least that's one of a few things that we can do in order to maintain the operational slash fixed costs, so to speak.
Right. Mr. Winter, now, how has the pandemic affected your employees? I mean, are there measures in place to help mitigate any impact felt by employees working with your company?
Yeah, so basically Cinema 21 spans, and I think we already existed in 52 cities in Indonesia, across Indonesia. What we do is actually, first and foremost, we ask our stay at home, and then we have a special task force headed by the HR division. And then every time we go outside, or every time probably we need to do some business things out of the city or etc., we have to report, especially if one of the employees are in contact with suspected COVID-19 patients. So that's what we do in order to maintain the wealth and the health and also the safety of our around 7,000 employees across Indonesia.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Devinta Hatagaul, who is from Cinema 21.
Thank
Congratulations for your win. We now have another winner from Indonesia. Congratulations, Mobilex. We have Mr. Nico Safawi. Two questions here for our winner. What are some of the measures implemented to ensure PT Mobilex stays ahead of the competition in the market? And how do you retain your customers? Nico?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Greetings from San Francisco, California. Let me just say that I empathize fully with the other winners and those who are not here to celebrate with us, but I know put hard work and effort into making sure that they are representing and doing the right thing in their own countries and their respective industries. At Mobilex, we've done a number of things to make sure that we stay ahead of the competition. And there are no secret formulas. It's investment in people, investment in markets and products. And we sort of look at it in terms of hardware and software. The hardware is equipment, plants, and technology, and the software is training and people and responsibility, corporate social responsibility, outreach to the community, training painters and applicators, and doing campus visits, and a host of other things. And so the marriage of those two, the hard and the soft, again, nothing terribly innovative. It's just a matter of execution and being able to do it day after day, month after month, year after year. We've been doing it for 50 years. We compete against global household names who are in our market. And we intend to be here for the next 50 years, and we very much appreciate being here tonight. That certainly helps.
Right, Nico. Now, how has My second question, how has the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in lower demands for your products? And if so, how has PT Mobilex Indonesia managed to ensure business remains operational?
Let me address the operations first. It has been a challenge, not quite like operating an airline or cinema, but there are several functions in our operation that cannot be done remotely. So work from home does not work on a factory floor. Work from home does not work in an R&D lab, for instance, or in a quality control area. Our first goal was to safeguard the health of our employees. That was paramount. So we began with that as the key strategic objective in how we respond to making sure that we're operating. Without them, we can't do it. What we did next is initiate a number of actions starting March 7th, very early, I would say, to make sure that we keep distance in the office before there were any guidelines issued by the government. We began daily temperature readings, and then we began screening, and then weekly self-assessments of who people have been in contact with, and then contact tracing in cases where we've had people who've tested positive. So the operation has been extremely disruptive, and we have suffered productivity because of it. We've had to operate the factory in multiple shifts. We've had to outsource production in a number of instances so that we can continue to supply our customers. So that's the operational aspect. It's been extremely challenging, and I don't claim to have the most difficult experience, but for our business, it's been challenging. Now, with respect to continuing down the path of sustainability in this environment, we remain fully committed. We don't believe that CSR or commitment to the environment is a trend. We don't see it as a fad. We don't see it as a short-term thing. If you do it, it has to be real. It has to be from the heart, and it has to have a deep commitment. We've been at it for a long time. Last year, we became the first company in Indonesia to become certified to have a zero net carbon footprint. We the only paint company globally of any size that has achieved that. And we haven't press, but here for you tonight, we just received our certificate for the second year just a few days ago. We'll be making a number of announcements for that. So we remain committed to it. If we treat it as a one-time thing, there's no value. We also realize that while there's a pandemic going on, usually the first thing to suffer are things that have an accounting cost, but no apparent clear economic benefit. And investment in the environment appears that way because we don't measure the negative externalities from emissions, for instance. But we remain committed to it. We remain committed to the employees and committed to our causes that we are pursuing. And we hope to emerge out of this crisis, out of this pandemic, stronger than before.
Thank you so much, Nico. Congratulations once again to Mobilex. We now move on to another winner of the ACES 2020 Industry Champions of the Year, Kowe Malaysia's Rian Berhad. We have with us right now on the line a couple of questions that we'd like to ask Kowe Malaysia. How is Kowe Malaysia managing the COVID-19 situation, and how much has it impacted your business and company?
Hi everyone. At first, congratulations to all of the winners. And because of COVID-19, Kowe Malaysia also suffered first stage. Just like the other players in this industry, Kowe Malaysia are seriously affected. In the initial stage, sales dropped, and also we cannot serve all of our customers because we have 1.7 million customer bases in Malaysia. We send our technicians and service technicians every 2 months. So in a month, we have to serve at least 700,000 customers. So the early stage of COVID-19, we cannot send all of our service technicians, and customers are complaining a lot of it. So at first stage, we also were in panic. But the government very strictly controlled the movement in Malaysia. So around 1.5 or 2 months, we cannot serve any accounts for our customers. But after that, Malaysia changed it to the RMCO stages. So we get approval from the government as an essential service. So we can send our technicians to all of customers, then they get service from it. So now this is more improving, and we are doing service around 90% as usual.
Right, Kyle. Kyle Choi is Managing Director of COWE Malaysia. My next question is, what is the 2021 direction for COWE Malaysia?
Sure, COWE Malaysia's slogan for next year is change your life. So this is our brand direction for 2021. I think this pandemic is a wake-up call for all Malaysian and all Southeast Asian, all the worldwide citizens, that we should not take life as granted. We should change our lives for the better and live life to the fullest. That is our new direction for next year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kyle Choi. Congratulations once again to COWE Malaysia for winning the Industry Champions of the Year award. We now would like to pose a question back to our panel jury. Jury panel, this is a very interesting question. It comes from one of our journalists right here in Malaysia. Okay, how did... the question that I have here is... amidst this pandemic, why do you think leaders and companies should join the ACES?
Well, in this time of COVID-19, what gives us strength is courage and hope, the stories of inspiration and care. We follow the news on the challenges faced by our medical frontliners because we know that it is in all our vested interest that they remain strong and safe. But in that same way, we are inspired and touched by stories of communities coming together and of leaders prioritizing the well-being of their people. I trust the nominees continue to participate in the ACES series as an investment into their brand, and as it is something that will strengthen investor and public confidence in their organizations, and also internally for an organization to come off stronger than ever in these adverse times.
Right. Now, on the subject of the pandemic as well, Shan, perhaps this question is also very relevant in judging the nominees for ACES 2020. Now, how did ACES adapt to the COVID-19 circumstances, especially in assessing nominees and staying relevant as an award-giving body?
Well, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, the ACES has always been about holistic performance. We believe that the corporations need a synergy between profit, people, the process management, and social responsibility. It was not difficult to continue judging as we used to judge because our basis of evaluation was to see how companies put people first, as my colleague Louis has mentioned again and again earlier, irrespective of the P&Ls. So we audited the nominees with the same stringency as we would have, only now that it was all online. And the only real physical difference, I would say, that the winners got back from the ACES this year is that there was no gala dinner. We all look forward to it as juries, but none of that this year. But the rest of the deliverables have always continued, although they're now online, like this press conference we're having. We have moved from everything being traditional printed to also go to digital platforms. and continue showcasing our winners in different digital platforms, which actually, from retrospectively seeing this, it has wider base of audience and can benefit people who did not participate in the ACES, and they can also learn from what our winners have achieved and share about. I mean, after all, adaptability is what kept the human race in existence. So whatever comes, we will be ready with solutions for the new normal.
Thank you so much. And now we do have a question for one of the winners from Accenture. Congratulations. We have on board with us Mr. People. Now this question comes from Judith of Manila Bulletin. She's asking, what traits does a leader have to possess today in this business climate, and which of these are the most important in order to overcome the current challenges? Mr. People.
Okay, thank you for that question, Judith. According to our Accenture Human Resilience POV, we believe that trust is one of the key ingredients of key traits of a leader. It is important for the employees to trust that their leaders will be able to navigate through the uncertainties and also look after the welfare of their people. So I think that is one of the most important traits of a leader to possess.
Okay. We do have some more questions coming in actually, but if there are no longer any more questions, we would like to wish all our winners our heartiest congratulations. Thank you to the panel jury and members of the media. And also, once again, good luck to our winners, and we hope that you will also join ACES for ACES 2021. That wraps up our press conference this afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Ann Edwards. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.